for the rest of the world. I didn't stream last week. We were in Passover. We spent a very nice weekend in the desert, and also got wow, I got wrecked on Powell's speech. I'll tell you all about it in this live stream. So if you wanna participate, let me bring up the chat. Let me see the live stream chat. Okay, let's see. Hi everyone. Let me see if I can see you here. And where should I focus to see my own live stream? Let me see. I think we should be streaming in X and LinkedIn and all around. So let's see. It says always welcome to our live show. I would like to see like live crypto TA. Is it in the settings? Da-da-da-da. Okay, let's give it a second. The Creator Studio title, right? Live stream. Okay, we'll do that next time, guys. Right now, let's jump into the content. So, let me share with you what happened at Powell's speech. How did I screw up one account, and what am I doing today and then this time? Okay, I guess the secret is always, picking up where you left and not giving up. So, right now, I have to. So I'll take you back to what happened, and let me share with you what went on. Okay, so anyway, we were here last week, right? And so I don't know if you watch my streams, but I was long around from this part, like when we started breaking out of this box, right? And I was long in several alts, and I was already in quite a nice profit on the break prop firm account. But then what happened? Let me delete this, right? Because the original order block at the hourly was on a different stage. But then what lesson did I learn here? The lesson that I learned here is that you cannot miss a meeting with the boss. And what your boss is when you're trading the market. And here was a FOMC meeting, or Powell was speaking here, and obviously this drop crashed my whole thing. And I should have been out of my positions before Powell's speech, but I missed that meeting. And when you miss a meeting with the boss, you get punished. So that's the lesson, guys. If you want to do this like professionally, you do have to keep up with the events happening. So this is what happened last week, and I'll tell you what. This is it's not only when you get like stopped out or you lose some trades. It doesn't only affect like your account or your overall balance, but it also kind of hinders with your confidence. Say, was it a good trade? Was it not a good trade? Anyway, this went down, and I thought it would continue. So I thought, okay, we're probably going short out of this. If you see this at the hourly, we had a very clear order bullish block here. But what happened? I generally want to see that how does it react when entering the box, right? So if we cover this up, you'll see that, okay, we could draw it ourselves over here. If we say, okay, this was the move, then this was probably the last up candle before this down move, and here's a block, right? But what happened right here? Like, it didn't even touch the freaking box, and it just nuked. I thought, okay, I'll be closing out, seeing how it works, raising my stop loss over here at the middle. But no, it just touched this and wow, smacked down the middle. And it did it again right here, but with a much smaller move. And it has been trying to break this, right? But it hasn't been managing to break this 85,000 resistance. So what did I do? I entered a short yesterday with an with a new account. I needed to get a new account, so I downscaled my accounts to the minimal possible until I get a good cadence and a good profitability, and only then I go upscale. And I would already be in profit in this trade, but what happened? I entered another short on this period, on this consolidation here, and that was what ended up screwing up my trade. So what are we doing now? Right now, I'll show you where I screwed up and what am I doing right now. So I had a beautiful, and this is not a small trade. This is a beautiful trade. If you're shorting this all the way, and it does a correction from this rally that we started back here with this support, that would bring us back to around the 8500. And if that is what's going to happen this week, then this is like a 7.6 to 1 risk reward. If you're saying we're not going to overcome this resistance for the time being. So that is a very good trade, and I blew it because I added to that short on AI16Z. And what did AI16Z did? What did it do? It just broke out immediately. So that was when I was out, but obviously that was not the right move because I ended up closing both shorts, thinking that would go higher. So anyway, what am I doing now? I'm doing two things, right? In the Binance account, I'm just trying to raise my BTC value, right? So I'm trading against BTC and only BTC pairs. That is what I'm focusing on. I have two on my watch, Super and CRV. They have great setups against BTC. So the other thing that I wanted to show you guys is Bitcoin dominance. Let me show you this, okay? So I've been drawing this chart for like forever, and we've been talking about this uptrend on Bitcoin dominance for a while now. I've been talking about this since the start of the year, that this was like a fake alt season from November to December. That was a whole AI agent and meme coin craze, this little drop. And now we're back here, right? Now, some people say that, especially Maxis, that this thing is going to creep up all the way over here. Now, if Bitcoin drops and revisits that 75 and even lower, like 72, 69K region as a final capitulation candle, I do believe that this can easily jump to here, which means alt would even get more destroyed. But look at this beautiful wedge that has been forming here, right? It's been testing this resistance and this resistance and this resistance, and now we're coming against it again at the 64. So this is on the long term, right? Let me hide this so it's clear. So this is on the long term. Now, if you do consider this as a rising wedge, remember that rising wedges have a higher probability of breaking to the downside. Why? Because what a rising wedge means is that there are the sellers are the sellers are stepping up at a lower price than the buyers are trying to raise the price, right? So essentially, sometimes it breaks up, right? This is a wedge; it can break either side, but the highest probability is for it to break to the downside. And if it does, we can expect another alt season. And even if it finds support here, like if we do for a couple of months and it does what it did here, it will still be a meaningful rally, in my opinion, against Bitcoin. So that makes me starting to look at altcoin pairs. If you look at it in the much lower time frame, we're going to see that it has been starting to break some market structure, right? So it was rising here. And if we look at the hourly, you already see some structural breaks. First one, like over here, if you like a little, very small time frame, but all this is already very clear, right? This is a clear break of structure. You'll see it even if we turn on the market structure breaks. You see that one? Yeah, so this is what is considered an MSB. I'm considering this one furthermore, but you already see that there are some breakdown points that is trying to break through and it's not managing. If so, we may see even just a short altcoin season, because even if Bitcoin drops 2% in dominance from 63 to 61 and change, you'll see a huge relief rallies from the altcoins. So that's what I'm looking for, and I'm trying to increase my Bitcoin amount on that exchange. The other chain, the new breakout account, what I'm doing is I'm right now in two shorts. One of them is Pi. I'll tell you what my thought process was for that. Pi is generally like it's been down only ever since. Obviously, it has this violent and violent up moves. So generally, you need to be aware of that. So risk management is of the essence over here. But so what I'm doing over here is saying, okay, let's look for a good setup. And Pi always is bringing good like short setups, also long setups if you catch those pumps. But the high probability, like fundamentally, this coin was mined like for years, and now the only utility this coin has is like selling it. So basically, I do think fundamentally this is trending to zero. So I shorted here. I'm already in a bit of profit. Remember, this is a much smaller account, a 5K account, but I'm already like 51 in profit. I obviously want to see it revisit this lows, which that would be a 5% move. That would be very interesting. And then if it breaks it, well, then we probably are in good shape, and we're getting this account approved, funded. And now the other one that I'm looking at, which is not bearish at all on the long term, but on the medium term, it hasn't been able to break this key resistance. And the coin I'm talking about is Grass. Now, Grass, if you see, this is trying to break this resistance over here, over the 1.75 change. And if it's tried and tried and tried and tried, obviously when it does break out, I think it might go on a massive run. But for now, yeah, let's zoom out, right? We've been, ever since we broke this type of consolidation, right? It's been a downtrend. We retested here. So on the longer time frame, it is a bit of a downtrend. Now, what did I do? I say, okay, this has a potential to be a SFP, which means swing failure pattern, right? We're trying to break this, then we break this, but then we're starting to trend lower, and we're not managing to break this with confidence. Let me add here the volume. See if I don't think they offer good volume chart in here, so I will just I'll just leave it clean as it is. But the trade is the following, guys. We assume the assumption here is that this is a swing failure pattern. That gives us a very, very tight stop loss, right? And we would expect to be retracing at least 2 days of move. And that would bring us to this area of resistance, which is already also forming support. All right, let's see that we're trying to use this as support, and we'll just see if this holds. And if not, okay, it'll be a bigger trade, but I don't need such of a bigger trade to get this account funded, guys. I just need basically a 10% rise in the account. And you can do this in one trade, but the downside is that you can lose the account in a couple of trades. That happens too. So the good thing that I suggest here is that, because even though until you do approve it is an evaluation and you're not trading with real money, I do see this as a very, very practical tuition fee because you are risking some capital, but you're not in the hook for the whole funded account. You're in the hook for whatever you paid for the evaluation. So I think this is a good method to get the practice to start growing your confidence, to start getting constant trades in, and to just keep at it, right? Even if you lose the accounts, guys, my tuition fee is right now very high. I'm still like in slight profit, but that is I see this as tuition fee, right? I see this as how I'm learning and building my own strategy. So that is where I'm at right now in breakout prop, and this is what I'm doing with what I did is I entered like along on CRV on spot. I'm just doing spot for BTC because I'm trying to have it in a low risk scenario, and then spot whatever altcoins might be starting to have a lot of volume and might be breaking out to increase that Bitcoin stack. So that is on the Binance side. This is on the breakout side. We see that we're already in a slight profit. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to retrace back to this 80 to 8,500, or even somewhere around here. This bullish. I've marked this bullish order block from way back then. This huge drop. It didn't amount to engulf this huge breakout. So we still consider this a support. Let me do this whole analysis once again for everyone who's watching the live stream, and I'll do away with all the chartings and all the complications so that you can see where I'm at and how did I get here. Okay, so we'll do this from the beginning. Right. So long time frame. Where are we now? Okay. Actually, we're looking pretty good after this race. So right now, let's put out some very critical points. Right now, this key value is acting as support, very strong support. 74, 700, 74 and change. We have our all-time high over here. And then for the weekly, we're gonna mark last week's low, last week's high. We're gonna mark 2 weeks, right? So we know our trading range. So we have 3 weeks. This week's already ending, almost ending. So we're gonna mark last week's low. This is what marks it. Last week's start, then last week's high, and last week's close. And these are going to be critical points for us to understand if we're going to continue upwards and where should we expect volume to bounce. Right now we're slightly going up, but it's not really significant. So let's drill into smaller time frames to see where we're at. So you see, this is a very tight range we've been up and down at. And what will we expect, right? We could maybe see it break out and go all the way to retest this critical resistance up there in 92 to 95K, which is a point where I will be trying to find some bags to de-risk and probably consolidate the portfolio, which I should have done here at this breakdown or at this retest with the Trump pump, but I didn't. So maybe this gives us another try. And the theory is here. If it just breaks out and goes to 100K just without asking, then you wait for a retrace and grab it over here when it starts making this resistance, and then, okay, maybe I was wrong. But this is a 5% mistake that I am willing to take for the risk that we're probably like entering a high recession that we might think, and we might go all the way over here and test the 65, 69K. as a last support, and then that will bring all altcoins to I don't want to say zero, but probably getting smacked. And now let's check out the very short term. And what are we looking at for today? Okay, Sunday. Well, I don't know if it's going to break out of this range. On Sunday, we don't expect a lot of volume in the weekends, but we do see that it's not managing to break out of this kind of resistance, right? We've seen trying it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, not breaking out. So that's why I entered the short. We also so the theory is that we'll probably enter this bullish pattern. We're probably going to not break out directly because we made this huge run from 74K up to here. So let us now draw Fibonacci to help us draw the levels from here all the way to where we peaked last Tuesday. So this gives us, you see, it lines up very good with this support that we marked over here that we've been trying to break. And then my expectation is if we're turning bullish, I would expect Bitcoin to at least give us a retrace to the 0.5 area, which is that 8,500 that we mentioned at the beginning. That's what I would be trying to place major longs for the short term. Why? Because this is a very highly likely scenario that we do get a bounce if we are turning bullish for the next month or so. We can also be looking at this one, 79, and this might act as resistance, right? That's a 618, typical retracement. Now, this is still bullish unless we do come down to this and start hanging out around this area. Then I'll change my bias. So what I'm looking is for a potential long up to here, right? Maybe over here, and I'll be a buyer here, expecting this to be a lower high from this kind of candidate of a button. And that is where I'm standing, guys. Obviously, you know, this is just me, and I am not yet at the level of many traders that you can watch and follow. I like how Trader Main trades, and there's Crown. There's a lot of very nice guys at Crypto Banter that you should also follow. And yeah, follow me. This is we're gonna do it right now. We're gonna cut it right now. So this is a good update. Let's see how the traders are doing. Okay, they're entering good profits. Let's see if we get another push down. Even a corrective phase will put this account in slight profit. Let's see how it goes. But it's a Sunday, guys, so it's still a weekend in the US. So I'm not expecting huge moves in the weekends. If you do see huge moves during the weekends, they're generally market manipulation because it's easier to manipulate. So it does happen. So stay safe, guys. This has been a short stream, but I hope it's effective. I have a ton of stuff to do with both Quora, Cage, preparing for Token 2049, which brings me to I'm going to be at Token 2049. Already got the ticket. I'm going to be bugging everyone and seeing where you guys at, hoping to meet people, make great connections, and also try to land investments both for Quora and for Cage Fund. So ping me there, send me a message. Let's book a meeting and see if we can do something together over there or even hang out. So I'd love to see that. Cheers, guys. That's been a stream. It was 23 minutes, short one, short but sweet. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back hopefully tomorrow. But if not, we're doing this almost daily, and I'm gonna get into that cadence too. So see you soon, guys, and take care. Have a great week. Bye.